Greetings, all you fans of the past. We are happy to have you back here on our channel, where we discuss amazing occurrences from the past. Today, we're going to travel back in time to ancient times and investigate a story that is sure to captivate you: the Roman occupation of Judea and the Jewish rebellion. This episode will go into the complicated connection that existed between the Romans and the Jewish people, the climax of tensions in the Jewish Revolt, and the subsequent destruction of the Second Temple in Jerusalem as a direct result of these events. So, let's get started. To get a handle on the historical setting, which is necessary for comprehending the Jewish Revolt's origins, first we need to understand the backdrop. Our narrative starts in the year 63 BCE, when the Roman general Pompey captured Judea and incorporated it into the Roman Republic. At first, the Jewish people and their Roman overlords were able to coexist peacefully because of Julius Caesar's tolerant attitude towards the Jewish people's religious practices. Judea was an area that was rich in history and had a significant cultural impact. It was situated in the eastern Mediterranean. It shared borders with other ancient lands such as Egypt to the south and Syria to the north, and it was bounded by the Jordan River to the east and the Mediterranean Sea to the west. There were a number of important cities located within this region that each had their own unique place in the progression of historical events. Let's look into a couple of them, shall we? Jerusalem, which was located in Judea and served as the capital of that region, was not only the political center of the Jewish people, but also the center of their religious and cultural life. The city was the location of the majestic Second Temple, a structure that held an extremely significant spiritual significance. Another important landmark was the stronghold of Masada, which was perched on a rocky plateau above the Dead Sea and offered breathtaking views of the region. The importance that Masada played in the Jewish Revolt and how it served as a symbol of resistance against Roman tyranny is the reason it is remembered today. Caesarea, a coastal city that was established by Herod the Great, served an important function as an administrative hub for the Romans. Because of its advantageous location and outstanding design, it served as an important center for commercial and cultural interaction. As the location where Jesus Christ was born, the town of Bethlehem, which is located to the south of Jerusalem, has always held a significant religious significance. It is still regarded highly by Christians from all over the world as a pilgrimage site. In addition to these well-known cities, Judea contained a number of other significant urban centers, including Jaffa, Hebron, and Jericho, amongst others. Each possessed its own one-of-a-kind historical, cultural, or geopolitical significance, which added a new thread to the region's tapestry. As we continue our study of the geography of Judea, it is essential to keep in mind the many distinct landscapes that contributed to the formation of the province. There was a wide variety of terrain in Judea, ranging from the rich plains around the coast to the rocky hills and valleys further interior. The Dead Sea is a saltwater lake that is surrounded by Jordan to the east and Israel to the west. It is considered to be one of the most stunning natural wonders in the region of Judea. Because of the high salt content, the area has a very distinctive atmosphere, which draws tourists from all over the world. The Jordan River is important from both a historical and a religious perspective because it flows through this region. It is frequently linked to occurrences in the Bible, such as the passage of the Israelites into the Promised Land and the baptism of Jesus, among other things. Additionally, Judea and the territory that surrounded it were home to a wide variety of peoples and cultures. Throughout the course of history, this region was a witness to the cohabitation and interaction of many different civilizations, such as the Canaanites, the Philistines, the Israelites, the Greeks, and the Romans, amongst others. The rich tapestry of civilizations that have shaped the region over the centuries can be better understood thanks to the insights provided by archaeological sites located throughout Judea and the lands that surround it. However, over the course of time, tensions between the Romans and the Jews increased due to various different circumstances. To begin, the Jewish people had a strong devotion to their religious and cultural traditions, and they viewed the arrival of Romans as a threat to their way of life because of the Romans' influence. The severe taxes that the Romans levied on the Jewish people contributed as well to the growing discontent that existed among that group. The Roman governor of Judea was vested with a substantial amount of authority and was responsible for a variety of duties. These governors were appointed by the Roman Empire, and their responsibilities included maintaining control, administering justice, collecting taxes, and assuring the population's loyalty. The situation in Judea became more dire during the time that Emperor Augustus was presiding over the Roman Empire, as it transformed from a republic into an autocracy. Roman administrators, who were known as procurators, were appointed to rule the province, which frequently resulted in instances of corruption, abuse of power, and religious conflict. Caesarea Maritima was a coastal city that was founded by Herod the Great and named in honor of the Roman Emperor Caesar Augustus. The governor's residence was located in this city. This building was the administrative hub of the province and also functioned as the governor's official residence. It was the responsibility of the Roman governors to ensure that Roman law was followed and that taxes were collected in an effective manner. This included the land tax, the poll tax, and a variety of other forms of taxation that were placed on the populace. The Jewish people felt oppressed by the burden of these fees, and the fact that the tax collectors were unscrupulous added fuel to the fire. In the middle of this unstable environment, a group that came to be known as the Zealots developed. The Zealots were a Jewish revolutionary group that passionately opposed Roman rule and fought for the foundation of an independent Jewish state. They wanted Israel to be free from Roman control. Their sway and the extreme approaches they took would be significant factors in the development of the events. In the year 66 of the Common Era, CE, the level of tension reached its peak. A solitary ember was all that was needed to spark the fire that would eventually engulf all of Judea in an all-out rebellion against Roman control. In Caesarea, a group of Greek-speaking Jews got into a fight with their non-Jewish neighbors, which sparked a wave of violence and retaliation between the two groups. The uprising rapidly expanded throughout the region, and within a short amount of time, Jewish rebels had taken possession of numerous strategically significant strongholds, including Jerusalem. The Romans, on the other hand, retaliated in a fast and harsh manner. The freshly appointed Roman general Vespasian, who would later go on to become Emperor of Rome, was given the responsibility of putting down the revolt. Titus, son of Vespasian, served as commander of the Roman legions that besieged Jerusalem in the year 70 CE. The city walls were penetrated by the Roman army after a grueling and unrelenting assault, which ultimately led to the destruction of the Second Temple, which was considered to be the holiest site in Judaism. The Jewish people and the Romans were profoundly affected by the events that followed this catastrophe, and those effects lasted for a very long time. The Romans achieved a military success with the demolition of the Second Temple, but the Jewish people suffered a symbolic defeat as a result of this event as well. The destruction of the temple, which served as the spiritual and cultural focal point of Jewish life, was a profoundly devastating event. The Jewish community was significantly impacted as a result of the events that followed the revolution. In the beginning of the Jewish diaspora, many Jews were either slain or sold into slavery, and others were deported or scattered over many regions of the world. The diaspora would have a significant impact on the development of Judaism, as well as the religion's interactions with other cultures and nations in the future. It's interesting to note that the Romans remembered their victory over the Jewish people by painting scenes of the spoils seized from Jerusalem on the Arch of Titus in Rome. The long legacy of this struggle is commemorated by this monument, which acts as a memorial to that legacy. When we look at artifacts from this time period, we are able to better understand the significance of this period in historical context. These relics are a testament to the collision of civilizations, the fight for independence, and the repercussions of Roman occupation. The Western Wall, also known as the Wailing Wall, is a section of the remnants of the Second Temple that can be found in Jerusalem. These ruins serve as a powerful reminder of the Jewish Revolt and the lasting connection that the Jewish people have with their ancient homeland. And with that, we have reached the conclusion of this enthralling voyage across Judea, the occupation by the Romans and the Jewish Revolt. This turbulent period helped define the course of history for both the Romans and the Jewish people, leaving an everlasting legacy that can still be felt to this very day. Come back with us the following time as we investigate more fascinating eras in history. Remember to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and ring the bell to receive notifications so you can remain up to date. Continue your adventures, continue your education, and never stop being curious till then.